As the title said, and that's why probably you are here, we will work together on this beautiful BMW 650i. On this car, I will reseal the alternator bracket, and if you don't know nothing about these engines, or if you know, you are awesome. If you don't know, these engines have a bracket for the alternator that it's also used as passage for oil. And with time, the gaskets, the seals will fail and you'll have some oil leaks from the alternator bracket. In this case, on this car, we don't have that. This is in a good condition, but today we will do a preventive maintenance repair because we know for sure that that will fail. To do this job, I will need brand new gasket for the bracket, some O-rings, and in my case, I also ordered a brand new thermostat for the oil. So if we are working with the alternator, the first thing that we need to do is to disconnect the battery. With that out of the way, I can remove the air filter housing with the mass airflow sensor. And if you follow this channel, you saw in the last video, I didn't completely secure this part. So now I'm able to pull it very easy. And by doing that, removing that, we gain a lot of room here for light and for access. Next step, I need to remove the belt. To remove the belt, I will need a T60 and the special tool. It's a pin to keep in place the belt tensioner. First thing, I will put a special tool inside of the hole, like that. I won't push it all the way in. Now with my T60 on the wrench, I will mount it on the belt tensioner, like that. And with my magnetic recovery tool, I will keep in place the special tool. I will disarm the tensioner and I will push in the special tool. I will remove the magnet, and now I can easily remove the belt. Next, I need to remove the fan, the electric fan from the car, and to do that I will need to disconnect these oil lines because there is an oil cooler that is part of this fan. So first thing is to disconnect those. I have some oil that will leak, and after that I can pull this fan out. To be able to pull that out, first I need to remove this reinforcement bar, and there is a cover here on the radiators and the fan. And now this cover. Now I need to secure this coolant line to be away from the area. Like that. Unplug the fan. From under the car, I will release this oil line from this bracket. This is for the power steering system, like that, to have more access to the screw for this lower oil line. With that out of the way, I have more room to remove this screw. From what I see, I'm not the first one that are removing this screw. There was someone else that removed this screw before me, and you can see they use a plier to remove this screw. That is not good. With that screw removed and the oil pan, now I can pull back the line. And I'll try to be as careful as possible to avoid making a mess. I will let this to drain for a couple of moments and we will return back. Now with the oil drained almost completely, I will start to put some plugs on this line, like that. And I will wait a couple of more moments for that dripping to stop. And then I will plug that end also. I think we are okay. This is too big, too small. Let's try this one. Ooh, fits like a glove. Now let's go on top. With the oil pan down, same, I'll remove this screw. I remove this line. Now we weren't supposed to have any more oil because all the oil was drained. So with some similar caps we will cap the oil line and also this side. And at this moment I will supposed to be able, let me first check, I will supposed to be able to pull the fan assembly out. There's nothing else that will keep it in place. I had some oil here inside, and like that we have unlocked a new level, more room. And now I can remove the belt tensioner. After that, the alternator. One screw here and one up here. But before I will pull the alternator, I will remove the pulley from the alternator to have more space available, because I need to pull out the alternator and disconnect the main cable, the main power supply and the communication plug. Like that. To gain more access, I will remove this auxiliary water pump from here. I'll try to put it up here on this rail. Like that. And to release this tab. Oof. This is damaged. For that hose, let's pull these lines from this bracket up. Something like that. I think I will completely remove this line, or oh, I can put it up. Now let me try to push this up here like that to gain some extra room. And now I need to pull the alternator from the bracket and pull it out. Oh yeah, and now I have access. Remove the plug and disconnect the main power supply cable. To disconnect the main supply cable, I have a 13mm nut here that I need to remove. And with that remove, I can pull out the alternator. Now with the 16mm socket, I remove the nut from the engine mount, because I need to remove the engine bracket for the mount from this side to be able to remove the alternator bracket, because this mount is over the alternator bracket. So because I will remove the engine mount, I need something to keep the engine on its level without an engine mount on that side. And for that I need to use an engine support bar. To be able to mount this engine support bar on this particular model, on this car, the feet won't go directly on the screws. You see, the screws are tied directly in this main frame. So on this engine, with the engine support bar, I need to be a little bit back. And if I will do that, I will go over this screw. I will still be on that screw on that side. So I will use a spacer like this one. You see, the spacer will be on top of both screws, so all the weight will be on the screws directly on the frame, not on the plastic fender. You can see the plastic fender, it's already cracked. So for that I have this piece of wood with some fluffy tape at the ends to prevent, in case this will move, to prevent scratches on the paint surfaces of the car. So I will slide this underneath this engine bar. And make sure that the engine bar is aligned with this point for me to be able to easily rise up the engine, because if it's not straight and it's crooked, this screw will bind on the engine bar and I won't be able to pull the engine up. This will go a little bit inside. On this side I'll make sure I am on the screws with my spacer. I'll make sure that the engine bar is aligned. I'll do the same thing on this end. I'll make sure that we are on the perfect place. So as I said, that threaded bar need to be aligned inside of the support bar for me to be able to safely raise the engine. Okay, so now I'll make sure that everything is aligned correctly. This will need to stay like that. And that it's enough. I'll double check to make sure everything is okay. So my entire weight, it's on the screws. You see, there's a space there. It's not on this plastic fender. The same on this side. I'll make sure that everything is in its place, is not going anywhere, because I will start to work down there. So my next step is to remove the power steering pump. The power steering pump has two screws, one nut and one screw. They are 13mm. Here on the top there is another 13mm screw that is for this bracket, so if I'm still here I will remove it. We also have a T45 for this bracket. From down here I can access the 4 screws for the alternator bracket. From the engine, probably I'll have access to 3 of them from here, from this side, and the last one probably I can do it from that side or from inside here. With an E12 I will start to remove them. Oh, this was very loose. And from what I see on that screw, let me grab it. There are some marks, you see. Someone been here and bit this screw. Yeah, so this is not the first thing that I saw that was done here by someone with improper tools or improper knowledge. There is another one here. And the same was not torqued. And also this one, it's damaged. Okay. And so there is one more up there. But to access that one, I think I need to go something like that. Oh yeah. Ooh, this one was torqued, but the bottom ones were loose. And to access the last one, it's that one. I think I need to remove the engine mount because it's exactly in that direction. So I need to remove it, or at least to turn it 90 degrees to be able to remove that screw from there. Yeah, and to do that, I need to let the car down and unscrew it from the top. To pull those screws out, I need an E10. Ooh, that was tight. And the second one, it's on this side. Ooh, that was the same. And if I'm still up here, I will try to see if I can remove this bracket for the power steering line and the oil lines. So I think down here it's an 8. Yeah, this doesn't look BMW screw. To remove the power steering pump, I need to pull it in the front. I cannot pull it in the front because I still have a screw in the back. This car is not equipped with active steering, and the power steering is a little bit different. I'm used to work with cars with active steering. So this only have power steering and hydraulic sway bars. So on this version, you have 2 screws in the front and 1 in the back. The strange part is that I removed only the it's one screw and one nut from the front, and the power steering is moving. This made me think, okay, there is no screw in the back, but why I cannot pull the power steering pump out? I cannot pull the power steering pump out because there is another screw in the back, but who worked here last time didn't torque down that screw. So that screw was loose for who knows how many miles. Let me see if I can show it to you. So can you see that screw? This is the power steering pump. So the person that worked here was not present with the mind. Probably physically was present because he worked on the car, but his mind was running around in different places and he forgot about this screw. This is the screw, but this do not look as a BMW screw, the same with this one from that bracket. Those like some hardware store screws, not BMW screws. You see, those are some BMW screws. They are totally different than this generic hardware screws. You can see even the texture, everything is different. You can see it from 1 mile away. Either way, let's continue our job. Yeah, so now with that screw out of the way, I can pull out this power steering pump. Oh yeah, beautiful. You see how much space I have here? I can throw a party in there. Or not. Now let's see if I'm able to move away this engine mount. Not yet. I'll still need a couple of more inches. So next step, I think, to gain more room, more access, is to disconnect the oil thermostat. To get access to that screw, I will need to remove the oil lines and this thermostat. So I'll need to rise up the engine a little bit more because I don't have enough room. Let's see if that is enough. Okay. I have a bracket that is creating some problems for me, so I will remove that bracket also. Okay, let's take this bracket out of here. The bracket out of the way. I think I need to pull up a little bit more the engine, so let's do that. I think it's enough. So now with the engine raised from its position, let me see if I can find a sweet spot to pull out this engine mount. Come on, it's almost there. Bingo! So if you wonder how I was able to raise that engine up there, I have used my manual shop lift. Yeah, so now with that out of the way, as I said, we have a ton of room to work from this side. Oh yeah. Now I have positioned my oil pan underneath the engine, and with an extra long extension I can reach in. Not yet. So the extension is too long. I have to go shorter, something like that, but okay. Next step with the pry bar. Let's see how much oil Oh yeah, there is some oil. We have new O-rings for these pipes. I'll put these pipes aside here. Now with those out of the way, I have access to the last screw for the engine mount. Actually, it's the engine mount bracket. So it's a long screw here in this corner. And finally, with that piece out of the way, I have exposed that screw for this bracket. And the exposed screw is a 16mm that I will remove now. Oh, that was torqued! And the screw is out. And last one, I have a 13mm screw that it's down there. Oh yeah! And now I was supposed to be able to take this out from here. Probably there will be a little bit more oil that will drip, and you can see the gasket remained here. Probably this service was done, but yeah, it's soft, not too soft, but it's soft. All that work to replace small gasket. So next time when someone will tell you that your alternator bracket is leaking oil, that person is not joking. Let me take out this old thermostat. That was tight, but not tight enough for my tools. And like that, the oil thermostat is removed. Before I will continue my work, I will need to do something else. If I have that bracket removed, now I have access to this upper timing cover because I need to replace the gasket. If you follow this channel and you see a couple of videos ago when I worked on this car, I have already replaced the gasket on this side. So now with this job, I'm able to replace that. After removing all the screws, Venus actuators, brackets, everything, now I can pull the cover out. I can retrieve the old gasket like that. So after cleaning all the parts, I have here the new gasket. I will grease it to make sure that the gasket will slide perfectly, but I won't grease this part, and the same here, I won't touch that part, like that. Next I will add a little bit of silicone here in this corner for good measure, another one in this corner. I will mount the gasket, and that. I'll take the clean cover, and the same I will add some silicone in this corner and in this corner, like that. And I need to push it a little bit up against the gasket from the valve cover, and then I can slide it. Come on. I can slide it on the alignment pins like that. And now I can put back all the screws. And with that out of the way, now we can return to our regular schedule and work down there. First I will start with cleaning my working area, especially now I have this room. Of course, at the end of this job, I will pull this car outside and I will wash the engine with some degreaser, something nice. This is a little bit better. With all the parts cleaned, now I can mount the new gasket. I will grease it, put it back, like that. And now the moment we've all been waiting, mounting back everything. So I'll go first with the bracket. Down here we had a 13mm screw. need to go slow with this bracket because this bracket needs to align in a million places. Needs to align down here, needs to align up there, needs to align in the back. Next we have another wrong screw up here. So the big screw from the back will need to be torqued with 38 Newton meter. Let's see how I can do that without too much struggle. 38. Okay, so now that it's done, I will mark it like that. Next, this one from here with 13 millimeter, it's 21 Newton meter. 17, 21. Mark it like that. And next on the list is the engine mount, the engine bracket, the leg for the mount. This will sit like this. So we have two long screws that are going through the alternator bracket into the engine block. And the two short ones, they will go on the right side or towards the back of the engine, depending how are you viewing this engine. And these screws, the same, they will be torqued down with 38. Second one. Nice. And the same, I will mark them to reconfirm myself that they are torqued and to be able to sleep in the night. You know that feeling when you wake up in the middle of the night? Did I torque that bolt? When you go, before you go to sleep, you will go again to your work. You will follow all the steps and you suddenly don't remember. Did I torque that bolt? Did I didn't torque the bolt? Should I call that customer back to check the wheel if it's torqued? Yeah, so by doing this, I'm reconfirming myself that everything is torqued. Now I need to squeeze back the engine mount. Now I have this bracket that will be mounted on this side, like that. A second one's here on the back. Next, my new thermostat. It's going in like that. Of course, I've greased the O-rings, don't worry. Put back the screws. And I'll torque down these screws. They will be torqued down with 10 Newton meter. 10. Awesome. After replacing the O-rings on these oil lines, I need to feed them back. After a little bit of fight, I was finally able to put this back, and now I will torque the bracket 22. And that one, it's done. Next step, I will push this power steering back because it's hanging here for such a long time. I will align it, put this nut back here. I also have a 13mm screw here in the back. Now with all the screws on the power steering pump, I will torque them down with 21. Like that, and also the one from the back that was loose and never torqued from last time when somebody else worked here. 21. This is torqued. This is torqued, and the last one from back here. And last thing down here is this power steering line, the hydraulic line. So go like this. And with everything mounted down there, now I can release the engine back on its mounts. And now I can put back the nut on the engine mount. Yeah, you can see the indentation where that engine mount pressed only on those screws. And I can torque the engine mount to the frame with 21. That is one. That is the second one. And the big nut from the engine to the engine mount will go down with 56. 56. And also down there I have that 10mm nut for that duct bracket on that engine screw, on the engine mount screw in the front of the engine, so I need to torque that down. Perfect. Then I can start to prepare mounting back the alternator. First I need to put back this screw on the alternator bracket and torque it down to 21 Newton meter. 21, and do my check mark. And to be careful not to damage something. This alternator is extremely heavy. Now I need to reconnect back the main cable on the alternator, and I can torque down the nut like that. Okay, first let me secure back this bracket for the oil lines. Come on. With the proper screw this time. If you remember, I have removed from here a construction screw. The long screw, it's down here, and the short one, it's up here. Okay, so now the short one is aligned. Now we need to find this hole. Yeah. Then torque them down with 38 Newton meter. This one is done, and the bottom one is done also. Confirmation mark. I have removed some 10mm nuts for these pipe brackets. One is down up there and another one is down here. This is torqued, this is torqued. Next step is to mount back the belt tensioner and also the small pulley deflector on the alternator, and torque them down. Do a small check to make sure that everything is okay. I can mount back the belt. Let's see if I can remember the correct orientation, the routing. But according to the layout of everything here, I'm pretty sure that this is the correct routing. Come on. Perfect. Now to release the tensioner, I need to apply some force. I need to retrieve, come on, I need to retrieve this retaining pin, and the belt is set. And like that, little by little, this car will be done, will be completed. Now I need to reattach this auxiliary water pump back on the frame, something like that. This clip is quite damaged, but unfortunately I don't have one here at my disposal. This was supposed to go there. Let's see, this one, I think this one will go here and this one will go there, like that. And now the electric fan. I need to make sure that this won't interfere with anything down there, with the hoses, coolant lines, brackets. Something like that. I need to make sure that everything is clipped and the fan is going exactly in its position. Now I can connect back the oil lines. Here I have a new O-ring. Like that. It's okay. This cable I don't think was supposed to hang like that inside there. So this is the plastic cover from this side. This was supposed to stay on top of this plastic cover, not underneath how it was mounted by someone else. Okay, let me double check everything here to make sure that absolutely all the components, all the pieces are put together correctly. Next, the reinforcement plate will go on top here, and this hood release cable is supposed to be clipped here and here in this on this side, but here on this side I'm missing one clip. And with the T30 we can start to tighten down all the screws. And now I will remove the oil cap because I will do an oil change on this car. So on top here everything is done. I still have that air box. Let's mount that now. Okay, first I have this duct for fresh air inlet that was removed by the owner from here. Let's see, put it like this back, and I'm missing a screw from here. So I have found one. Like that. And now the air box. Let's go in like this. Let's put back the two screws. Have your filter that was provided by the owner. I will write down the date here. Oh, he have a Royce type of filter. Okay, I will give that back. And now we'll go up. We'll go under it here and I'll reconnect this oil line back. Put back the screw. Okay. So that is done. Next step, drain the oil. I will start with the oil filter. Ooh. Oh, that was not good. It was tight. And after that, with the main engine oil. Now I can remove the oil filter. I'll take the oil filter and I will keep it aside to check to see what's inside, to see how healthy is this engine. I remove the old O-ring, and it's a white O-ring. I don't like that. That is not an original O-ring. I'll take the new filter. It's an original BMW filter on the new original BMW gasket. That it's a black one, not red, not white. Like that, and we will mount in the new oil filter. Before I will torque it down, I also want to and need to change this O-ring from here with the original one. The oil filter, it's torqued down at 25 Newton meter. It says here, like that. And the drain plug for the oil filter is torqued down at 10. Like that. And I will do my confirmation marks. And last, the drain plug with a new crush wash, copper wash. And also torque down the oil drain plug. 25 Newton meter. And with this done, I can lower the car to top up the oil. And now I need to add 8 liters of oil inside of this engine. 5W30. This is the oil that the owner provided. I always insist to using original BMW oil, but you can use any other type of oil you want. So that was 5. And from here we'll need 3. Let's see, we have a level here in the back. We will need to stop here at 2. That's enough. So we are at 2. We'll keep this, we'll return this to the owner. To add and now we can check together what's inside of this filter. I can see that this is a good brand filter, so we look inside and we will search for metal shavings, black plastic pieces, something shiny, I don't know, gold rings, Apple watches, everything that can go inside of this engine. But for the moment, this oil filter is perfectly clean. You see there is a small piece of dirt there. You see that one? Let me bring the light. See that there? But that is nothing to be worried about. There is another small speck of dust, something. You see it inside there. But as I told you, if you remember, if you follow this channel and you saw all the videos, we did some work on this car. This engine was open for around 2 years without the valve covers, only with some plastic film on the engine. We had a lot of work on this engine, so yeah, it's pretty clean. Awesome. With that checked, now this job is done. I still need to start this engine and check for leaks. After that, I will need to let this engine to idle and warm up, again check for leaks. I also need to reset the service interval for the oil change, the oil replacement. I will need to drive test this car and again check for leaks. At the end, if everything will be okay, I'll mount back the engine cover and the splash shields. With this, I will end it here. If you like it, if you like what I have done with this car, please show me by hitting the like button. If you learned something new in this video, again, smash the like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching these videos. Thank you for being with me. And until next time, you know the drill. Stay awesome. Bye now.